Hello, in this video I'll be talking about how to properly set up the Canon 60D, various audio equipment and teaching you about health and safety when at an outside location. So here we have a long shot of a building and the image is far from visually appealing, so that's why I'm going to show you how to get a more aesthetically pleasing shot. First I change the shutter speed. Shutter speed is how long the shutter is open on the camera, therefore letting more light through. The higher the shutter speed, the darker your image will be, so if you're shooting outside, just keep that in mind. Then I changed the ISO number on the camera. The ISO creates artificial light in the camera. This can help if you're in a low light condition and you want your image to have more light. This comes at the expense of having a grainy image, so I would recommend the ISO being as low as possible to get the best image. After this, I then adjusted the aperture on the camera. Aperture is all about how much light you are getting into the camera, and the larger the f number, the smaller the aperture, and the larger the aperture, the more light that is getting light into the camera. So be sure to take this into consideration when shooting outside. After you've adjusted the image, this is what it should look like, but don't worry about it not looking exactly like this image. It's all about what you find aesthetically pleasing, and other effects like weather can change this image drastically, so I wouldn't worry about it. The next thing we're going to talk about is lenses. Lenses are important because they can be used for different things, and I have three examples here of different lenses and what they're capable of. The first line I'm going to be talking about is one you've already seen. This one is the Canon 18 by 135mm one. This one is the normal lens that you get with like most Canons, and it's good for most shoots, but its capabilities are stretched if you're shooting something that's far away or really up close, but it's a good all-rounder to have. The next lens is the Canon zoom lens, 75 by 300mm. This lens is good for long shots, as you can see from the name and the image it would compare with the first image that was shown. This lens will be great for long shots, but would be really awkward to do shot reverse shot conversations, for example. The last lens that we have is the Canon 50mm, and this lens is different to all of the others, as you can see here. This is because it has no zoom function on it. This lens is really good for medium to close-up shots, but would struggle for anything else for obvious reasons. But this lens will be really good for a shot reverse shot conversation scenario. Next, let's talk about audio equipment. I have various audio equipment with me, and I'm going to show you how to use them properly. First, let's talk about the Tascam. The Tascam is audio recording equipment, and this particular model attaches to the Canon that we are using. You then connect it to the microphone through an XLR lead. The Tascam has different settings: low, medium, and high gain. Low gain makes it so you'll only be able to hear what's in close proximity. This would be good if you're trying to film something that you don't want any excess sounds in the background for. Medium gain is when you will pick up normal sounds as well as what you're trying to capture. And high gain makes it so you will capture audio from the distance and making the audio you're trying to capture really loud with some noise in the background. The next piece of audio equipment we're going to be talking about is called the shotgun mic. This particular piece of audio equipment that we're using is a directional mic, which means that you have to aim at your subject to get the best audio possible. You can achieve this by getting close to the subject but not being in frame of the shot. You can do this by using a boom pole which attaches to the shotgun mic. Next, let's talk about health and safety, and let's start out with some of the basics, making sure your equipment is out of the way and in a tidy place, not thrown about waiting for a trip hazard to happen by one of your crew or a passing pedestrian. So keep all of your bags to the side in one place that is out of the way and tidy. And keep all cables from your equipment as wrapped up and out of the way as possible. Try and keep all food and drink away from the equipment and any other electrical hazards you might see.